Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Happy Sunday, September 8th, my friends. We got ourselves quite an update here for you. Quite a beefy update actually, as we are watching a couple systems out here in the Atlantic. We are going to be on alert here for the next couple of days because we are watching the potential of a system to impact areas out there near Texas and Louisiana. We could have some tropical storm impacts, if not low-end hurricane impacts. We'll have to continue to watch that. But what's up, everybody? Let's go ahead and jump right on into it here. So who we got here for today? We got Christy. What's up, Christy? We got Tabletop. We got ourselves Divas. We have RE. We have Trudy, SPC, Roadster Jim, Ponderosa. What's up, guys? And, of course, everybody else who is here but not chatting. Hope you guys are doing good. So we are watching a storm right now. It is currently located in the southern Gulf here. So the storm has an overall high probability of developing into a tropical system. At this point in time, over the next 48 hours, we have an 80% chance of formation. So there is a really good shot that this thing's going to turn into a tropical depression or a tropical storm here within the next 48 hours. Now, during the next 7 days, that's a 90% chance. This thing is basically going to happen. This thing is basically going to form into a tropical system. And actually, right now, it's not too far off from a tropical storm currently. It's not currently a tropical storm right now. It's still an investigation, but overall it has a pretty good shot at development. This thing is likely going to be causing some issues down in time for places out there by like Texas and like Louisiana. So we'll make sure to be looking out there for that. Taking a quick little look here at the satellite imagery. We had this up in the beginning of the stream. So there you go. You can currently see there's the system right there. We got a bit of dry air in place across like Texas right now, but for where the storm is at itself, there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. You can see it's kind of venting clockwise there. You can kind of tell that counterclockwise movement on the upper portion of the storm there. That is some venting going on. Storms are obviously here, they're still, you can see all that thunderstorm activity out there in the region. It still has a bit of organization it needs to do before it actually turns into a system here. But it is an invest, and it is an area we're watching. Now, the good news, well, for the storm anyways, is that these waters are very warm. That's a problem. That's a problem because that means that the storm's going to have a good shot, based off of SST, sea surface temperatures alone, to become pretty, pretty decent in terms of intensification. Now let's hop over to models here. We're just gonna dive right on into it. We got a lot of stuff we need to talk about here. So we have actually two other systems we're watching too. If you look above me here on this panel, so there's the one we were just talking about, that red area, but there's actually two other areas out here too that we're paying attention to. These ones have a 40-60% chance on them. This one has a 050. So there's another shot that we could get some more storms out here later down in time. But anyways, first of all, let's hop over here to the Western Atlantic view. What's up, Mark? What's up, Davis? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Trudy? Thank you for letting us know about this. No problem. Of course. Of course. Tabletop says, how do I feel about those two areas in the Atlantic? We'll get to that here in a minute, Tabletop. We're just going to focus first on this storm, and then we'll talk about the others, okay? Let's see here. Let's see. Hit that bell so you can get notified. Thank you so much, Davis. I appreciate that. What's up, storm coverage? Hope you're doing good. But anyways, so this is the GFS. We actually have a new run coming through. This is the 12 Zulu run coming through on here. And according to the latest... Oh, my gosh. That latest GFS has this thing rapidly intensifying. Look at that, dude. That is... Oh my gosh. Okay, so according to... So obviously today's the 8th here. As we approach tomorrow morning, there is a good shot here. Or sorry, tomorrow evening, there is a good shot this thing could easily be a tropical storm at this point. But yeah, look at that. The latest GFS has that pressure getting down into the 950 millibar range before landfall. That would be like, based off of pressure alone, that would be like Category 2, maybe even Cat 3. But yeah, remember, that's one model. Take that with a grain of salt. But that's the new run that's coming through. It looks like the models have been trending a bit more to the east, keeping it further away from the coast, which that would give it more room to strengthen. Because if half of the system or part of the system's over land, it's going to, really kind of stunt its growth. But if you have something, if you have it out in the full water, like the latest models have been trending towards, that would make it a little more concerning. Wow. Okay, so yeah, big heads up for my folks out there in like Texas and Louisiana. Like I said, we really need to be watching this one closely. The previous GFS run, this is the 12 Zulu. This is the newest one we got. The previous run here shows that thing is also getting down into the 970s, lower 970s. That would be like Category 1, Category 2 based off of pressure. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. It really does seem like the models, like the GFS has been like trending more towards maybe a more powerful storm. So this thing might not only be a tropical storm, but there's a shot this thing could even become a hurricane as it potentially impacts areas like south central Louisiana, maybe southwestern Louisiana, or eastern coastal Texas. It's kind of this area here that we need to kind of be watching mostly. Definitely looks a little concerning. So if you have any folks that live out in like Louisiana, just in general, just tell them to keep an eye on it. Same thing for like, even near Houston. I would definitely be watching the storm as well, because it could have a pretty close call to Houston too. Latest model guidance kind of shows that maybe going a little east of Houston, but you never know. That could still change since we're still a couple days away. It looks like the date of impact would be for late the 11th into the early 12th, according to the GFS model. But yeah, that's the 06 Zulu, and the latest one, like I said, has this thing getting down potentially in major hurricane status. But like I said, once again, this is one model. This is, this should be taken with a grain of salt because it's one model. Let's hop over to Euro. Let's see what Euro has to show for itself here. We have the 06 Zulu. This is the short range run. Let's hop down to, oops, didn't want to do that. Let's hop down to the latest full range, so basically the way that the European model works is that every other model run is short. So it only goes like 90 hours out, but every other one is 240 hours out. So this is the long range ECMWF. Now, Euro really doesn't have this thing really doing, oh my gosh, dude! Proxy just coming in here with $100 super chat. Are you serious right now? No way, man. Dude, no way. Proxy, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see what Proxy said, saying, hi, Andrew. Thank you for being on the job, keeping us weather safe. I'll be letting my New Orleans relatives what's going in. What you do for us is so appreciated. Proxy, thank you so much for the $100. Holy cow, Prox. Holy cow. Thank you, Proxy. You are awesome, as always. Much love to you. Yeah, please keep your family informed in Louisiana. Like I was mentioning, it's still not known yet. Like I was just talking about, the euro kind of has a little bit weaker. But it seems like the models have been trending a bit more to the east lately, having the storm, kind of going a little further away from the coast, which would keep it out in the water more, which is what I'm a little concerned about. But, dude, once again, Prox, thank you so much. That is like really nice of you, of course. And like I said, seriously, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know, okay? But thank you so much, Prox. You are amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, no, the latest GFS, like I said, the one that's still rendering here, is just having this storm here getting into, potentially like hurricane activity, maybe even strong hurricane activity. But, once again, take that with a grain of salt. Euro didn't show it as much. Let's see, CMC, this is another weather model. This one shows it getting down into the lower 990s. That would be likely a tropical storm, if not a low-end hurricane, based off of pressure. Now, obviously, you can't fully just go off of pressure. Size correlation to pressure is a big deal. So if you have a smaller storm with, deeper pressure, it would mean stronger winds. If you have a bigger storm with the same amount of pressure, it means that the gradient of winds the gradient of pressure is over a longer distance, meaning that the flow would be slower, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, that's why I'm saying you really can't always go off of pressure. But yes, I mean, regardless though, still potential tropical storm. It seems like a lot of the models are really talking about that. This one kind of has it kind of hugging the coast here, as you can kind of see, hugging right there towards, like, right near Houston, actually. Which is definitely something interesting. Davis coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Davis. I appreciate that. Say I love you. Thank you. Let's see, for watch. Let's see. What? Oh, for watching out. I was about to say. Thank you, Davis. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see here. But once again, thank you guys. I appreciate your support. Y'all are amazing. Seriously, you all don't have to do that. It really means a lot to me. And it really helps out as well. So thank you guys for the supporters. And thank you all for hanging out with us too. Enjoying a late breakfast while watching your excellent stream, Andrew. Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that, and enjoy your breakfast. Anyways, but yeah, so CMC, like I said, really doesn't have this thing picking up as much. Let's hop to Icon. Like I mentioned, everybody loves Icon for some reason. So yeah, Icon also has it on the realms of maybe lower 990 pressure, which would, like I mentioned, kind of keep it in that tropical storm range, if not maybe low-end hurricane. Let's pull up our 10-meter winds here. We can see that there's some barbs. Wow. Okay, so we can see that the color gets into that dark red, which is like right here. That's like 50 knots sustained. That would be like what, like 60, 65 miles an hour sustained. That would make it a kind of like an upper-level tropical storm overall. So yeah, so most of the models have this thing, either upper tropical storm force or lower Cat 1. I'm going to roll with, I think this thing could. I think it could become a hurricane. Yes, I do. Do I think it can become a major hurricane? I don't see enough guidance for that right now, okay? While obviously the GFS model is going haywire on that last scan, the last two model runs, while that is in place, I don't really see many other models talking about that. Whenever we start to see more of the models talk like that, that's when I would believe it. But since most of the models are still having this thing, in that lower 990 millibar spectrum, we're likely going to be upper tropical storm, lower category 1. If we're being quite honest, just based off of guidance right now. Now, could that change? Absolutely it could. And we are still a couple days away, in which right now would be an excellent time to to be weather aware out here in these regions, especially the regions along the central northern coast of Texas, as well as obviously pretty much the entire lower portion of Louisiana. I would highly consider watching very, very closely. Let's see. Thank you for watching out for us. No problem. And once again, thank you so much, Davis. I appreciate the $10 super chat. That was really sweet of you. Thank you. Once again, that was you certainly didn't have to do that. Also, Proxy, once again, thank you as well. Appreciate you guys. Will this impact Oklahoma? Nah. This shouldn't have any problems or any form of impacts for Oklahoma. So the storm is kind of, probably going to dig its way into like Mississippi and Arkansas. It should leave Oklahoma completely unaffected at all. So you should be good. You should be fine. Yeah, it seems like the latest track, like I mentioned here, it seems like the latest guidance is showing the storm actually a little bit more to the east here. So that's kind of what we're watching. Let's take a look at the spaghetti models. We're going to go ahead and full screen this, I guess. I know they look pretty weird right now. It's a little squished, but there you go. Yeah, here's the latest spaghetti models, and you can see how it has it getting close to the coast there, but then kind of, some of the models have it backing up further. Worst case scenario would be for the storm to kind of hug its way more towards like the central side of the, or more away from the coast, I should say. That would be kind of the worst case scenario, because that would allow the storm to mostly be over water, if not fully over water, which would allow for the storm to, pick up that intensity. However, the best case scenario would be for the storm to kind of hug the coast. That way, it's some of the storms over the water, so it would mean that, probably slower strengthening overall. So that's kind of what I'm really looking out for right now. It really just depends on, where the thing goes. Because like I said, if you go more to the east, there's more potential for strengthening. If you go more to the west, there is slower potential for strengthening. But, like I mentioned, as of right now, the majority of the models has this thing getting in the tropical storm strength. I will tell you now, this thing will be a tropical storm. This will be the next named storm. But, like I mentioned, though, regarding what it does, either scenario A, it, kind of hugging the coast there and slowly intensifying, or scenario B, potentially going further away from the coast and, rapidly picking up some strength. So we'll have to watch out for that. Same models now regarding the intensity. Here's what the latest models have. They're kind of all over the place here. So this was the same models we were just looking at. These guys. So this is plotting the track here, and this one's plotting the intensity. So the green, this is tropical storm wind threshold. This is category 1 here up into yellow. You can see there's only like one model that shows it going up there, but the majority of the hurricane models obviously have this thing going in tropical storm. And matter of fact, we're actually already near that tropical storm force winds, but it's not a tropical storm yet because it's still not developed like a tropical storm. Like we were looking at a minute ago, it's still just a bunch of thunderstorms. It's becoming better organized. It looks a lot better, but it's still just a big heap of thunderstorms right now. So it still needs to kind of, develop a little more before this thing will be a tropical storm, which will be soon, which will be very, very soon. There's a good shot that, like I mentioned, within the next day or two. Would I be surprised tonight if it became a tropical system? Honestly, no, I really wouldn't. But I would probably aim more towards tomorrow of it becoming a tropical storm potentially. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted. See you later, Davis. Once again, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate your support. Good morning, Calvin. Hope you're doing good, man. Any surging possible with this one? Yes, Tiffany. There would be some surge impacts. Do we know how strong it will be? No. Like I said, we still need to kind of figure out the strength of the storm before we can determine how big the surges would be. Tropical storms definitely bring surges. And another thing I want to mention, too, is tornadoes. Tornadoes would likely be a problem with this storm. I know it's a little early. Like I said, we still need to kind of... Oh, my gosh, that's really... that is, like, really squished there. Here, let's zoom that in there. As of now, regarding like severe weather, there is nothing on the table. But as that storm, makes landfall, wherever it makes landfall, on the right-hand side of that storm, that's what we call the dirty side of the storm. That is where tornadoes can be hosted. So we need to watch for that, as we potentially could have a tornado threat, maybe for Louisiana, Mississippi. Who knows? I mean, like I mentioned, that's still a couple days away, and there's, currently no risk from the SPC, but with typical tropical systems on the right-hand side, or just a low-pressure system in general, if you have instability and stuff, there can be tornadoes. And since we're kind of pulling up a lot of instability from the Gulf here, there is a good shot we could have a tornado threat sometime here this week for those areas. So we'll have to monitor the tornado potential. So yeah, surging I think could be an issue. Like I mentioned, how strong we don't know. Depends on the scenario. Once again, scenario A, it goes further out to sea, probably pick up more strength as it's kind of off land, if you have that storm that's kind of most, over water and over land, it's not going to, develop as quickly as if it was fully over water. So, scenario A, if this thing decides it wants to kind of remain away from the coast, it could pick up a little more additional strength, which would mean more stronger surges, potentially stronger tornado activity maybe, as it makes that potential landfall there. As well as if we had scenario B, if it kind of hugged the coast, it would kind of stunt, or I wouldn't say really stunt, but kind of slow down development, which would make it not as strong in the end, which would make it, overall weaker to just overall. So that's kind of the two scenarios we're watching. And like I said, that's heavily reliant, surges is heavily reliant on how strong the cyclone is. Obviously, the stronger the cyclone, the stronger surges because of stronger winds moving more water. So that's kind of what we're talking about. Thoughts on the inland severe weather East Coast? There's currently nothing really going on for severe weather. I actually looked at this before I went live today. Yeah, we got really nothing going on right now. But like I mentioned, we'll keep an eye out for a possible tornado threat down in the south sometime this week because, with those tropical systems, it does happen. You can get tornadoes. So we'll watch out for that. Let's see. I'm on the east coast of the border of Texas and Louisiana. Definitely want to keep it out there if you're out in that region. Obviously, if you said you're on the coast, so you're kind of like right in here. Yeah, you're definitely in an area where I would want to watch closely. Like I mentioned, you're kind of caught up in that, kind of where the storm is potentially, kind of expected to go. Here, let's go ahead and zoom back out here. Like I mentioned, the latest GFS model has it kind of going right near you. Which that would, definitely cause some impacts for your location there. So yeah, certainly I want you to watch it if you're in this area. Like I really said, you guys, really across like the central northern coast of Texas as well as like Louisiana's coast, I would highly advise watching this system closely and making sure that you have your hurricane preparedness stuff in place. Obviously, the earlier the prepared, the better. If you live out there in coastal Louisiana, I would honestly start preparing for the storm if you can. Maybe just go to the store, grab a case of water or two, just to kind of have, if you don't need it, which, like I said, we're still not really sure what it's going to do, but, you'll still drink it anyway. So just go ahead and, get ahead of the ball here. I would recommend, there's no reason for panic, of course, don't freak out over this, but, at some point, you got a couple days to prepare, just consider getting things together. And making sure that you have all your important documents in your safe spot and all that stuff too. It's just, the earlier the better. That way you don't panic at the last minute. You never want to wait to the last minute during one of these systems. That's where it's kind of an issue. Let's see here. Do I think that East Tennessee will get anything out of this system? Not anything crazy, no. Latest guidance, like I mentioned, kind of has the storm kind of digging its way up towards the Midwest. Maybe out there towards like Mississippi and like western Tennessee. Now, you said for eastern, right? For eastern Tennessee, yeah, probably not. You're probably not going to see much out of this system. Like I said, it depends on where it goes. Obviously, if it, even if it was to go in your general direction, which it seems like it's going west of you, if it was to go over you, it would be so depleted by the time it gets to you that, the storm would basically be just remnants at that point. It wouldn't be anything, like, significant. Let's see. I'm in Austin training. I won't go home until Wednesday. Can't really prepare. That's fair, Tiffany. That's fair. We'll be careful, my friend, and like I said, if there's anything I can do to help out, please let me know. Like I said, that's what we're here for, guys. We're here to help you. We're not here to scare y'all. We're here to keep y'all weather aware. But like I said, this was kind of like the worst case scenario model, the GFS right now. This is like the worst case scenario from the models I see. Like I mentioned, like European model, ECMWF here really has this thing, kind of more towards like maybe lower tropical storm. I think the Euro is underdoing it right now, to be honest with you. And then you have like CMC, which is a very fair model, showing like maybe lower 990s. I think that's a real good possibility. Same thing as Icon. Icon has that storm maybe a little more to the east compared to CMC, but same similar pressure down in maybe the lower 990s. But then you have like the GFS we were just looking at showing like 950s on that latest run. It's ridiculous. Let's go into hurricane models, guys. Let's actually look at like HWRF. We're gonna really dive into these guys here now. So this is 91L. So we have the 06 Zulu. It looks like they might be running a little behind here. The latest. Oh, that's weird. HWRF really hasn't gotten a hold of the storm quite yet. It doesn't look like, but yeah, I wouldn't really trust this model here. It doesn't look like it really grasped the model or grasped the storm yet. Okay, then you have HMON. This one shows maybe upper 990s, but it has that impact point right there towards like south central coastline, maybe southwestern coastline, maybe near like what is that, the Galveston Bay area. Just kind of there in northern Texas. Is that Galveston Bay? I could be wrong. Hold on a minute. No, I don't think that's Galveston Bay. Never mind. It is the Galveston Bay. I was right. Anyways, but yeah. So we'll have to watch out for it, and we'll see. Yeah, obviously it doesn't look like those models are really picking up much on it right now. HAFSA, on the other hand, shows this thing getting down into the lower 980s. That would probably be in the realms of, see, max winds 66 knots. That would still be in tropical storm force range according to this model. Let's see. I hope it's a category. No, I don't want it to be anything. Tropical storms even can have problems. I wouldn't wish a category 3, man. That would be catastrophic for these folks out here, especially with, how Louisiana is. Their geography is not very good for tropical systems. Like, as you know, New Orleans is actually below sea level. They're actually below sea levels. And you have the levees that are kind of damming the area around New Orleans. This system will likely make landfall west of New Orleans. I mean, obviously, we're still not too sure yet, but there still would probably be some impacts out there. So, yeah. That's another thing I want to look at actually is rainfall. So let's hop over here for a minute. I want to go ahead and pull up this app here. We're gonna see if this app will work today. It was a little slow last couple days, but let's see if we can get this thing to work. But yeah, rainfall is another thing I do want to look at. So we'll keep an eye on it. Is it me, or has like Texas been like a key target for tropical systems this year? We had Beryl. Beryl actually kind of took a similar track in a way. Beryl went over the Yucatan, I believe, just like this storm, and it kind of turning similar to it. For some reason, yeah, this is taking a minute to load here. I know they've been having a lot of problems with their software here. Takes a minute. Let's see, especially for those that live here. Not nice to wish that on us. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would never wish anything like that on you guys. Definitely don't want it to be anything big for you. Okay, yeah, this program's not working. We're going to hop over to this one then. We'll keep that one off until they can fix that program there. But let's take a look at like your GFS here, and then we'll look at the Euro and stuff. But anyways, yeah, rainfall is another thing I want to look at here. If we take a look at the precipitation, let's see here, total precip accumulation. This is the latest GFS model run here. Holy cow. Wow. Okay, so latest GFS, look at that, has near the Galveston Bay, maybe picking up a couple inches out there, but that point of landfall, look how many, that's like over a half a foot of rain there, according to the latest GFS. This is the crazy model run. It really shows a lot of like Mississippi there, possibly getting in the 2-3 inch realm. Arkansas, definitely some heavy spots there, here and there. Yeah, Alabama maybe picking up an inch or two. That is quite a bit of rain, though. Yeah, for the areas in Louisiana, like I mentioned, they just got a lot of flooding. We just did we did a bit of coverage the other day, guys. I don't know if y'all were here or not. We did a little bit of coverage the other day for flooding in like southeastern and southern Louisiana. They literally just got a lot of rain, and this is just going to add more. that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue that could cause a lot of flooding out there. So we'll keep an eye out there for that. Euro, ECMWF here has, still a couple inches along the coast there. Maybe a little more lighter rainfall, at least out there towards south central Louisiana, New Orleans, Baton Rouge area, kind of picking up maybe 2 to 4 inches, locally higher potentially. This model, the Euro, shows it really picking up out there towards like the central and northeastern side of Louisiana, maybe picking up 6+ inches. Same thing for maybe portions of northern Mississippi out there. Might be able to pick up a couple or several inches out there. Of course, over a foot out there in the water, that's not going to be much of a problem, considering it's just going right back in the water. But yeah, no. Regardless, man, it does seem like that there could be some issues with flooding with the storm as well. Like I mentioned beforehand, I do think that we're going to have that surge problem too. Depending on how strong it is, you're going to have those counterclockwise winds occurring, which is going to kind of push the water against the coast, and that's going to lead to swelling and some surges. Like I said, the stronger the storm, the bigger the waves are, the bigger the surges are. Like I said, we don't know how strong this thing's going to be. Like I said, there's 2 scenarios. One of the scenarios is the storm kind of remains further out to sea before going over Louisiana. That would allow it to be off away from the land, which would allow it to pick up some more heat by the time it hits land. Or the best case scenario would be for the storm to kind of rub against the coast of Texas, maybe preventing it from strengthening as much overall. So that would be kind of the better scenario, which means that the storm would be weaker, which would ultimately mean weaker surges and all that stuff. So, but like I said, the stronger the storm gets, the stronger and more water is going to be pushed against the coastline. And like I mentioned as well, tornadoes will be likely an issue. Obviously, right now it's way too early to tell regarding the tornado probability. But the thing about tropical systems and low pressure systems is due to enhanced moisture instability and wind shear on the right hand side of a low pressure system, we get something called cyclone induced tornadoes, which basically is because of the change in those winds throughout the atmosphere. That veering pattern would allow for some spin to kick off in some of those bands. So that's kind of what I'm wanting also to watch out for. So not only flooding, not only surges, not only all that stuff, there would be a lot of impacts. So surges, flooding, tornadoes, winds, and just a lot of impacts. We'll keep an eye on it. What about Mississippi? So yeah, Mississippi should keep an eye on it as well. The thing is that the storm is likely going to make landfall in Louisiana, or kind of out there towards like eastern Texas. I think it's going to make probably towards like this area, towards Louisiana. That could obviously still change. We're still a couple days away, but Mississippi is not going to have a direct landfall, more than likely. The storm's going to likely make landfall. But the thing is that, by the time we get to Mississippi, the southern side could experience a little gusty winds, of course. But I think the main thing for Mississippi would probably be rain. Here's Euro showing a couple inches. Yeah, GFS shows a lot more. So I would definitely say like Mississippi would be in a concern for flooding. So if you live out there in Mississippi, David, I would watch out for that. I think flooding would be an issue overall. So we'll keep you posted on that. Anyways, but yeah, so that's the flooding aspect of things here. We're gonna go ahead and hop all the way back over here to the overall outlook here. Like I said, here's the latest update from the Hurricane Center. Over the next 48 hours, we have an 80% chance of the storm turning into a tropical system. More than likely, it's going to skip depression, I think. I think it's just going to probably go right in the tropical storm. It is like right on the edge there already. It's already almost at tropical storm force winds. But it's just not completely organized yet. But yeah, 80% chance of development in the next 2 days or 48 hours, and throughout the next 7 days, 90% chance. This thing's going to be the next named system. Like I mentioned, we have 2 other disturbances we're watching. We have this guy over here. This is 92L. This one has a overall 40% chance of turning into a tropical depression during the next 48 hours. So not really likely. It's unlikely, but it is likely over the next week, throughout the next 7 days. And of course, behind that, there's another one here. Not expecting any development in the next 2 days. This is more of a development further down the week with a 50-50 shot of it turning into a depression. So. There's 3 areas we're watching. Of course, the EPAC. We got one area here in the Eastern Pacific, 50% chance of development. But yeah, things are starting to pick up. And I forgot to mention to you guys, peak hurricane season, I believe, is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the ladder, or the peak. We're right at the top of the ladder right now. But remember, we still have a couple months of hurricane season. We're not done yet. We still have a while to go. So we're at the top of the hill. We're gonna start going back down here soon, but. There's been a lot of dust. It's been drying up our atmosphere, really preventing a lot of storms from happening. Despite other conditions being definitely favorable for tropical activity, if you have a lot of dry air from the Saharan dust, that's going to cause a bit of problems in terms of preventing storms from happening. So it seems like the dust is lighting up a little bit. That's allowing for these storms to finally initiate. So... that's why we're seeing, we're probably going to start seeing a little bit more activity out there. Let's hop back to the models here, guys. We're going to look at the overall other storms here, too. Like I mentioned, I want to get all the storms updated for you guys just to kind of talk about them all. Obviously, the main one's this guy over here. Okay, so we'll keep an eye out there for that. So we work our way down in time. GFS, as you can see, first of all, the latest GFS has that storm becoming a big hurricane potentially. Once again, that's the only model that takes it that strong. So I'm gonna have to wait to see if any other models pick up on that. As of now, strength related, my personal opinion, okay, take this how you guys want to. As of now, I think this thing has a good shot at becoming an upper level tropical storm or lower end category 1. That's what I'm standing at right now, despite GFS showing maybe Cat 2 or plus. I mean, we'll have to see, but there's, like I said, this is really the only model that shows that right now. GFS is taking the lead for the most aggressive model right now. But this is a newer run, though. I will say this, and it does seem like the models are trending eastward. Since yesterday, a lot of the models were kind of hugging the coast of Texas. Now it seems like it's going to be a little east of that, which is showing. Maybe that system being offshore, which would allow the storm to kind of pick up some intensification, pick up some strength, because it's fully over water rather than partially over water. If it's partially over water, it's going to strengthen slower. If it's fully over water, it's going to strengthen faster. That's kind of what we're looking out for. Its track is very important, very, very important, and it's crucial to know where it's going to go. If it goes further to the east, it would likely mean a stronger storm, stronger impacts, heavier, winds, heavier surges, and all that stuff. But, if you live out there on the coast of Louisiana, I would prepare for surges already. Obviously, if you're on the coast there, just prepare for it. Like I said, we don't know how strong those surges are going to be. It's still, a couple days away. Models are still kind of all over the place. It could be mild surges. It could be big surges. We'll have to, just kind of see how that goes. But anyways, no, it is never a good sign to see the GFS show that. But also, it's also the GFS. I mean, the GFS can be a crazy model sometimes. So, and I think that's kind of what it's doing now. I think it's just kind of being a crazy model. But like I said, one model run, showing that, we'll see. But don't let it get to you. Don't let it worry you too much. But like I mentioned, if you do live along like the central northern side of coastal Texas, or like Louisiana's coast, I would highly consider preparing for the storm. Just get ready for it. Just watch it. We'll keep an eye on it. Still worried, those 2 orange blobs. So those ones, according to GFS, really don't do much. It looks like the conditions are not going to be that favorable for, long-range development of those 2 systems we were just looking at. If we take a look at the, let's see, I'm on the wrong thing. If we take a look at the humidity out there, this is basically average humidity. You can see that there's, going to be a bit of dry air in that region there. kind of where that storm we're watching as. That's where the two orange blobs are. I think that dry air will be an issue. You can see one of the systems there developing, and then it just kind of gets probably eat away by a wind shear more than likely. Looks like we get a non-tropical low that might kick up at some point, but obviously the further you go down in the models, the more in la land you get. So at that point in time, it's just a little too much for me. Or a little too much to look out there for. But another thing I do want to look at real quickly and show you guys is that the latest GFS might be hinting a bit of dry air, kind of nudging into that southeastern quadrant as the storm makes landfall. You guys see that? So right now, where the storm is at, it is completely saturated. There is a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. Here, let me actually show you that. I can show you firsthand. This is live satellite imagery right here. So you can see that is the storm. It's a big blob of thunderstorms. See how this is black over Texas? This is dry air. And so this dry air will get sucked into the storm as the storm's right over there towards Louisiana. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Yeah, but look at that. That black there, that's your dry air. The kind of gray, that's showing moisture in the atmosphere. The storm in general needs moisture because thunderstorms can't happen if there's no moisture. And since we have a lot of moisture around that system, multiple thunderstorms can occur, which is, organizing that storm. But yeah, back over to the models. As we approach our way further down in time, that dry air that we were watching over Texas will get potentially sucked into the bottom part of that storm, which would, probably rapidly weaken it. Not only would it be rapidly weakening from pulling away from the water, but it would also be, kind of getting introduced to some dry air, potentially. Still not for sure, but I do want to mention that, though. Could be an issue, which would be good, of course. The earlier the better. That would mean that the storm would probably weaken a bit before, but if it makes landfall as the dry air starts getting to it, that's not going to do too much, honestly. Let's see here. Let's pull up the. I don't think that's available on the scan here. Let's do Western Atlantic here. There we go. Yeah, look at our wind shear here. Yeah, so we have the jet stream. I believe that's our tropical jet going right over the southern plains, basically out there towards Texas. So yeah, as the storm makes landfall too, it's likely going to get sheared off as well. So not only is the storm going to probably get some dry air as it makes landfall, but the wind shear would likely increase as well. So this storm, as soon as it hits land, it's going to fall apart quickly. That would be good, actually, allowing it to be a much more weaker storm as it approaches areas like Mississippi and stuff. But anyways, yeah. We'll definitely, continue to watch that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like I said, we're here for you. I'm actually going to do another live stream today. I'm going to go live at 6 for you guys. So we're going to do another live stream here in about 5 hours as we get some more model data and stuff like that. So we'll be live again for you guys here in about 5 hours or so. But we're probably going to head off here relatively soon. Like I mentioned, we pretty much got a lot of the stuff I wanted to talk about here. And that's what I'm saying. If you guys have any questions, I don't want to leave you all hanging. I'm going to be here to answer questions if you have them. But like I mentioned, just know that there definitely could be some impacts out there towards Texas and Louisiana's coast there. So I really want you guys to start, watching the storm closely. If you're out there towards like south central, southwestern coastal Louisiana, it honestly wouldn't hurt to even maybe grab a case or two of water, just kind of to get ready of it. Look at 92L on visible satellite imagery. Sure thing. Yeah, let's look at that here. Let's hop over to 92L. Let's do full screen. Let's see. That's looking better. It's looking better. We still have a lot of those. We still have a lot of those. A lot of scattered convection, a lot of scattered thunderstorm activity, but it looks more centralized. It does look better. But yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye out there for those. But yeah, like I mentioned, the models really didn't pick much up on that system. Let's zoom back out here. Go back to North Atlantic view. Yeah, so it really doesn't have that system doing a whole lot. Oh, GFS in La La Land, past 200 hours. So, um, we'll see. Proxy says, I'll be late for the 6 p.m. stream, but I'll join as soon as I return home at 7. Proxy, I'll just start at 7 then. That's fine. If that'll be fine with me. Yeah, we'll just start at 7 then. That works with you guys. So yeah, Proxy, we'll just go live at 7 then instead of 6. Plus, it'll give me a little bit more time to work on some things around the house here. So, but yeah, that'll work. But yeah, Justin, it does look a lot better. It does, that system. Oh, you want me to look at visible sat? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was looking at infrared there. Yeah, let me pull. I'm also gonna look at our water vapor too. Let's do visible. Where is visible? Here we go. Visible high res. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can obviously see that counterclockwise movement on it. It does look a lot better. I will give it that. Let me look at the water vapor though. RGB. Looks like a bit of dry air to the north here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, it does look better. It does look better. But like I mentioned, the models here. Let's do the hurricane models here. Let's do HWRF on that system. Yeah, HWRF really doesn't have it taking off much. Look at that. It just kind of has it remaining maybe a depression, if that. It has it kind of in maybe the mid-upper 1,000 range. I think it's a dry air issue or shear issue. Let's see here. Yeah, dry air looks like a big problem. That's it. So, yeah, right now it looks like it has a good grasp of moisture. You can see in the kind of greenish blue color that's showing a lot of moisture. Obviously, this brown here, this is showing drier air. Yeah, it seems like moisture is going to be a problem. Look at that. It seems like there's a lot of dry air going to be around it. So, like I mentioned, the problem with dry air is you need thunderstorms in hurricanes and tropical systems. You need thunderstorms to be able to happen. And if you have no moisture, you're not going to get any thunderstorm activity. And that's going to overall not really allow the storm to strengthen or really even sustain itself at that point. So that's why it's not picking up. Yeah, no, dry air would be a problem with that storm there. Let me look at upper level dynamics. I don't think this one, this one doesn't have a shear on it. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about this one though, to be honest with you, at least as of now. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, possible hurricane. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think right now, where I would stand on that Texas storm, I think it has a really good shot at being either an upper level tropical storm or a low end category 1 as of now. Like I mentioned, I know GFS shows it like category 2, category 3 right now, but like I mentioned, that's like the only model that shows that. So unless I start getting a lot more support showing a stronger storm, I will say this, if the storm continues to trend to the east like it has been, I would not be surprised if models start showing a more stronger storm because it'll be further away from the coast. It would be fully over water rather than partially over water. If it's partially over water, it'll be strengthening slower because of that land interaction, and because of the full system not being able to kind of absorb all that heat from the water, but also or otherwise I should say, or on the other scenario, if it was fully over water, it wouldn't have any of that land interaction, which would mean it would be more susceptible to rapid intensification. So that's kind of what we're looking out there for. Let's see. Looks like I'll have to bring my my mannequins out of my pool. What? Okay. That's a little odd, but all right. I mean, yeah, that would be good. You don't want those things going flying everywhere. Let's see. If it hits Texas, it wouldn't be good. They already have a lot of rain. Well, honestly, Brady, that's how Louisiana is, too. It's not just Texas. Louisiana, like I said, we just did some coverage the other day of a lot of rain falling out there. A lot of rain out there towards like Louisiana. So they just got a lot of rain. This would add to more problems, especially with Louisiana's geography. A lot of marshlands and a lot of swamps. not to mention like New Orleans. Depends where the rain goes. If it's either west, well, either way, could become an issue for flooding as more rain would be introduced to the area. Let's see. What's up, Scott? Hope you're doing good, man. Jeffrey says the aircraft data found tropical storm winds. Really? Do they have a mission? I didn't even think to look at that, honestly. I appreciate you pulling that up. Do they? They got, okay, they got two missions. I don't see any really updates on that. They're en route. Yeah, we'll watch it. Like I mentioned as well, just because they found tropical storm force winds does not mean that the storm is a tropical storm, because to have a tropical storm, you need to have closed circulation. That's kind of what we're waiting on here, is the storm to be fully circular, that rotation. If the rotation's partially, not fully circular, then that's, even though it has tropical storm force winds, it would make it a tropical storm because it's still not fully structurally there. Does that make sense? That's kind of the thing. Galveston definitely should keep an eye on the storm. Like I mentioned, more than likely the storm is going to be making landfall east of Galveston, probably more towards Louisiana. But you're certainly in an area where I would watch as well. Houston area should keep an eye on it as well, of course. Let's see. I honestly do think that the models are overestimating the dry air over 92L. I don't know about all that. So there is here. Let's hop to SAT. I think this is it, right? Nope, that's not it. Do this one. There you go. Yeah, so you can see the storm over here. There's a bit of dry air up to the north. That storm's going to go this way to the northwest here, and it's going to be getting into that dry air. Not to mention, as it approaches these areas, more than likely it's going to get into a region full of more wind shear. But like I mentioned, I really don't see a big problem with that storm. Either or of those two. Both of those I really don't see much of a problem. This one, on the other hand, like I said, the one in the Gulf, that one I think is going to be having some problems. What's up, Storm Dakota? Yeah, I wouldn't really worry about those ones. I mean, we'll keep an eye on it, but like I mentioned, those storms are going to be running into some problems. This guy over here, like I mentioned, as it makes that landfall, this dry air up in Texas will probably get pulled into it just as it's making landfall. So won't do that much to it, weakening it beforehand. But I think as that storm makes landfall, it'll disintegrate quickly or rapidly degrade itself, pretty much. Those two storms are too early to say much about. Yeah, I mean, for what, like I said, the guidance we do have, though, shows it running in the dry air and running into stronger winds. So that's kind of where we're standing with those ones, While it is certainly a possibility that those things could turn into a depression, we'll have to see. Does 91L look impressive to me? It does. It does. Like I mentioned, it still has some work to do, like I mentioned beforehand, but it's kind of waiting on, that circulation to be fully closed, for one. Also, the thunderstorms are still fairly scattered. We need more centralized convection. But other than that, yeah, it looks a lot better. It does. Like I mentioned, this thing has a good shot. I think by tomorrow we'll have either probably a tropical storm on our hands here. Like I mentioned, the wind speeds are already near tropical storm force, even though the system's not structurally a tropical storm yet. So it might even just skip depression, honestly. We'll see. I mean, obviously I don't know that for sure, but is there any waves getting ready to come off Africa coast? I didn't see any. No. We'll keep an eye on those areas, though. But, yeah, as of now, no. There's nothing big coming off of Africa. So is it Galveston or Louisiana? So this storm is going to more than likely, obviously, yeah, if you're out there by the Galveston Bay area, I would highly watch it. I would honestly keep an eye on the storm, really closely throughout Texas's. I'd honestly even say most of the coast of Texas. But yeah, really these areas, I really want you guys to be hyper weather aware out here, especially for my folks along like central northern Texas and more specifically, way more towards Louisiana. Like I said, most of the models have that storm kind of, maybe impacting that southwestern or south central side of Louisiana. I will say though, that's not final yet. That's still not 100% final yet because, the models are still kind of hopping. Like I said, last night, the models were much more to the west here. And with the new rain, or with the new update here, it seems like we're trending further east. Which, like I said, that would keep the storm out in the water. That would allow it to strengthen more, because it's not going to be over land. If the storm was over land, it's not going to be able to properly strengthen as quickly. Like I mentioned, if it's partially over land, it's going to take more time and energy to strengthen. And if it was fully over water, it would, wouldn't have that issue there. So that's kind of what we're looking out for. Kind of what we're trying to see here. Let's see. Central Louisiana is in the bullseye. Yeah, as of now, it does seem like Central Louisiana could be in some of that impacts here. Let's go ahead and bring y'all over to the spaghetti plots again here. But yes, no, I would certainly say that Central Louisiana needs to watch this. So yeah, you can see the majority of the latest guidance here has that storm kind of hugging just off the coast of Texas there. That's what I was saying, near Galveston we should watch. More specifically, like I was mentioning, the central northern parts of the coast, these areas is where I really want to keep an eye on it. Like I mentioned, the trend is eastward. We're kind of trending a little bit to the east. It seems like every model run. Will it continue doing that? We don't know. But for now, like I mentioned, I really want you guys up there, like in central northern coastal Texas and Louisiana, to monitor it, as all the models do at some point have this thing going right over like central Louisiana. Yes. So Kimberly, yes, we definitely need to watch out there in Louisiana, central side, for sure. Landfall point would probably be somewhere, I think, maybe towards south central Louisiana or southwestern Louisiana. That's kind of where I'm thinking we're gonna have this thing making landfall. But we'll see. We're still a couple days out, and there is still time for things to move around a little bit. Brady, western Tennessee could get some rain from it. Eastern, not as much. It seems like that storm's going to probably, well, it depends on what model you look at, but some of the models have this thing just kind of digging its way up towards like Arkansas. Let's see here. So regarding like eastern Tennessee, you can see that a lot of the rain would mostly be for like western Tennessee rather than eastern side. So Texas, it would have both wind and rain. Yeah, this would be likely a windy system for the coast for you guys. Like I mentioned, the latest GFS, this model has this thing getting crazy. But like I mentioned, this is really the only model that has it getting this strong. So, don't let that freak you out too much. But, if we start to see more of an easterly movement, if I start seeing more models talk like this, I would be a little more concerned. But right now, I think the range is going to be a upper level tropical storm or a lower in category 1. That's the strength I think we're going to be on the storm, at least as of now. From what the guidance I have right now, I would say that either an upper level tropical storm or a lower category 1 would probably be like the best, or the best to assume right now. But anyways, all right, y'all. Well, we just hit an hour. We're gonna go live again at 7 for you guys. We'll be back live again at 7 for another update. We'll have more information out from the models and all that stuff. Plus, we have our tropical weather update at 8 o'clock, I believe, from the Hurricane Center. So if I go live from 7 to 8, we should have enough information for a whole new cycle of information. So we will be live at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific. Okay? So make sure you guys tune in to us. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. If you guys have any questions before I roll off here, feel free to throw them down in the chat. But anyways, Proxy, yeah, Proxy, we're going live at 7 just for you, my friend. Like I said, that'll be good for me too, because I can get some more things done around here, because I have a bit of things I need to do around the house. But no, that works out. So Prox, I'll see you at 7, as well as everybody else here as well. But like I mentioned, everybody, once again, thank you for joining. If you guys haven't already, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Also, I want to show you something before I head off here. As usual, some of you guys probably know where this is going. Guys, check out our pinned comment. We got ourselves some awesome merchandise. Really, really cool stuff. We got pins. Patches. We got ourselves bags. We got coffee mugs. We got 2 different types of coffee mugs. We got all kinds of sweatpants, hats, shirts, sweaters, everything you can name it. So go ahead and check that out there in our pinned comment. You guys can get some merch. It'd be really cool, and it would directly support us. Once again, I appreciate that. Let's see here. Anna says, thank you. You're very welcome, Anna. No problem. Very, very welcome. Proxy says, thanks much again for all your hard work for us, Andrew. You're very welcome, Proxy. Once again, thank you so much for your support. As always, Proxy, we love you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see here. All right, Sealer, Texas, thanks for joining. Bring your gas grills in. Barrel Blue. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. We'll definitely watch out for that. Let's see. You received your a bag a few days ago. I love it. Nice, Prox. I'm glad you love it. Awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, my girlfriend. Actually, I bought my girlfriend a shirt. She's getting ready to get it probably in a couple days, and my mom got a shirt too, which is pretty cool. The merch is high quality. I will say that. I'm not just saying that. It is actually high quality. It is really good merchandise. So if you guys want to check that out, really cool stuff. It would directly support us. That is there pinned in the comments, as well as it's in the description as well, if you guys wanted to follow that. So is our Discord and stuff like that too. But all right, guys. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for now. You guys take care. We'll catch y'all at 7. We'll catch y'all later this evening. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. You guys stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. See you later, guys. Once again, big shout out goes to Divas as well as Proxy for our donations today. You guys are awesome, and once again, thank you all seriously, as it means a lot to me. Helps keep us up and running. I owe you guys a big thank you. So appreciate y'all. But all right, guys. You guys take care. On your way out, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, check out the merch. Be greatly appreciated. And all right, guys. Y'all take care. We'll see ya in the next one. See you later, guys. Catch y'all at 7.